I wanted to start this video by sharing the tools that I used and the materials that we used. Starting off with the 16 gauge pneumatic nailer. Also used the table saw with a stacked dado blade, a chop saw, or you can use a circular saw. Used a Kreg pocket hole jig, as well as an impact driver, layout and alignment tools, and a hammer drill with a masonry bit. The materials list is pretty straightforward. Everything we used for this we got at Home Depot. The only thing, obviously it's all treated posts, treated lumber. The only thing special that we did is we got the 3/4 by 6 inch by 6 foot Alta premium treated dog-eared picket boards. They're premium because they're a little bit thicker, and they also come pre-stained and guaranteed for 2 years. So let's take a couple of minutes and take a look at some of the more unique things built into this project. So let's take a look at what we did with this fence. So let's start with, use the gate as an example here. So if you take a look at the gate and then we go this way, basically you're looking at your typical fence construction. You've got a top nailing rail, you've got a middle nailing rail, and you've got a bottom nailing rail. Well, as you can see, instead of going vertically, I wanted to go horizontally because, well, that's what Penny wanted. So let's take a look at the construction. So, I mean, this is basic fence design, right? So, you know, we attached the wood to the brick columns on both sides, ran a line, dug the holes, sunk the posts in, made sure that they were straight, level, and true, filled them with concrete, and off we're running, right? So to address the nailing rails, so what I did is I ripped some boards. So there's a comparable board on the other side. So ripped the board, put them on the insides, and then attached the boards with nails, and then sandwiched them in with another piece. Now, the difference here is I did not want the middle nailing rail. So understanding that wood moves, right? You know, we tried to do a little physics with this project. So each of these boards has a 1/2 inch by 3/8 inch dado on both sides. And then I flipped every other board so that if one of the boards tried to cup, there was an opposing force on the other end preventing that by potentially doing its own cupping action. So, you know, it's not sure how it's going to work. So far, I have to tell you, 5 months into this, it's working really well. So, you know, we're very hopeful. Also, to avoid the cupping on the top cap here, what we did is we put in some holes. I used the Kreg jig to drop in some pocket holes here, and then put a level up here on top, and then drew these down so this won't cup and this won't pull up either. So we've pretty well locked in almost all the different forces as far as movement goes. We'll find out over the next, you know, 4 to 5 months as we go through the winter in the wet season, but at this point, pretty optimistic. So let's go back and let's review the numbers a little bit. I started off by telling you how much I saved on this fence from the original quote. So let me break down all the unique parts of this, if you will. So the brick columns shown in this picture were $5,500. The HOA requires them. If you have so many feet, you got to have so many columns. So there's 6 of them. They're 2 feet by 2 feet. So given that, pretty good deal. We made the choice to put the aluminum fence on the back of the property, so that's about 230 feet. We also had to upgrade to a commercial grade because with Walker we don't know how big he's going to get, so if he gets to be 200 pounds, we wanted something that was going to be able to hold him in. So the fence with the gate came to $7,100. The gate frames we had custom made by a local welder, and they came to $1,400. And then finally, all of the wood and the materials that I needed to do the wood construction part of the fencing came to $3,300. So the total investment for the fence project came out to $17,300. However, a lot of that was because of things that are mandated and personal choices, right? So if you don't have brick columns mandated, that's $5,500 in savings. If you don't, need to have that view with the aluminum fence, that's another savings of $7,100. So there's almost $13,000 in savings right there, just to do the wood fence for the 270 feet that it runs. Comes out to like $18.50 a foot. So very reasonable, right in line with what somebody's going to charge you to install a picket fence right off the shelf at Lowe's or Home Depot. So there you go. That's what we did. That's how I did it, and hope it's helpful.